Hello, my name is Oisin Logan and my ergogenic aid project is on creatine. It's well known that creatine has been used extensively to help athletes to increase muscle mass over the last 30 years, but I will now tell you how exactly creatine does this and the potential adverse effects to consuming too much creatine. Creatine is a natural substance that is stored mainly in the muscles. 95% of creatine is said to be stored in the muscles. The other 5% is stored in the brain, liver, and kidneys. 40% of creatine in the body is stored as free creatine, while the remaining 60% is stored as creatine phosphate. Creatine supplements turn into creatine phosphate in the body, which help make ATP, which then provides energy for muscle contractions. Creatine is a non-essential nutrient as the body produces some of the creatine it uses. It is converted for use each day by the liver and kidneys and the pancreas. It is then transported through the blood and used by parts of the body that have high energy demands, such as skeletal muscle. Dietary sources of creatine include meat and fish. It is commonly taken in supplement form and specifically by athletes. The daily needs vary greatly depending on if the person is someone who is training intensively or just an average person. An average person needs 1 to 3 grams of creatine a day. Roughly half of this is synthesized by the body and the rest is got from dietary sources, including red meat and fish. However, athletes who train intensively require far more creatine in order to maintain their muscle stores, some of them needing up to 10 grams of creatine per day. So what does creatine supplementation do? When the muscle is required to contract, the bonds in the ATP molecule are split, giving ADP. The energy released by breaking this bond powers the contraction of the muscle. The fastest method without oxygen to rebuild the ATP is to split the creatine phosphate, giving the phosphate portion of the molecule, which combines with the ADP to give ATP. Supplementation increases creatine stores within the muscle, allowing further ability to regenerate ATP. Creatine therefore enhances the ability of the muscle to maintain power output during brief methods of high-intensity exercise. Here is an ideal creatine cycle in which there is a loading phase for 5 to 7 days, followed by a maintenance phase. This is the most effective way of building muscle while taking creatine. To get maximal benefit from creatine supplements, they should be taken in cycles. 40% of college athletes are said to be using creatine supplementation, while half of professional athletes use it. It is more suited to athletes who play sports that require the anaerobic system, such as wrestlers, football players, and gymnasts, rather than endurance athletes who use the oxidative system rather than the ATP PCR system. Why do athletes use it? In simple terms, it improves strength, enhances muscle mass, and improves recovery. The possible negative side effects from taking excess creatine includes weight gain, the onset of asthma, fatigue, nausea, and anxiety. It's not recommended for diabetics, pregnant women, people with kidney or liver disease, or children under the age of 18. Taking creatine with the following drugs also increases the risk for potential negative side effects. And these drugs include blood sugar medications, diabetes medications, and excess caffeine or diuretics. Thank you very much for listening.